What's up, guys? It's been a while, which is kind of embarrassing because I kind of just got started. But I have thought so long and hard about this for months. In fact, this one thought slash issue is what's been, I feel, preventing me from doing more coaching or even writing more blogs or doing these videos or just anything moving forward in my coaching business. One of my personality, I don't want to say issues or flaws, but one of my personality traits or quirks is that I experience paralysis by analysis. I just have too many thoughts going on in my head that I just don't know where to begin, where to start, and so I just don't do anything. I'm going to be completely honest, the past month or so, I just got into a pretty comfortable but unhealthy cycle going to work, and I would just go home, and by that time I would just be tired and not want to do anything. But in reality, I was feeling more and more tired, not because of the weather or not because of my job. It's because I'm not doing what makes me feel alive. I'm not doing enough of what makes me feel inspired. I got certified through a life coaching program called IPEC, which is amazing. The total experience was awesome. And in that program, you're encouraged to pick a niche slash area of specialty or just a category to focus on, knowing that you can change it at any time. So I always knew that self-love was my thing. That's the whole reason why I got into this career. My own journey was so empowering, and I felt like it was so unique that I knew that sharing that and being vulnerable with that was kind of my purpose. So I knew that whatever business I were to go into, that would be what fueled me. So basically, this is the dilemma that I've been having. So once I graduated from that life coaching program, I was instantly stumped with the question, how much am I gonna charge? Every coach has their own way of advertising themselves, and most of the time, for the client's convenience, for some reason, packages make it seem easier in terms of payment as well. For example, a 16-week program may be $2,500, or a 6-week program for $10,080. You get it. A package would include a lot of other resources and tools, most likely you have 24/7 email or Voxer support. So basically, if you were to divide that up per session, in those examples that I gave, it would be $180 per session, which is $180 an hour, or $156 per session. So it's pretty pricey. I mean, to me, a 27-year-old, that's a lot of money. I personally know a life coach that can charge up to $350 an hour, and well-known life coaches out there could, if they wanted to, which some might, they could charge thousands per hour. And here's the thing, I completely believe that the coaching process is worth every penny that you can afford. I truly feel that it's invaluable and it's priceless, because the beauty of coaching is that we want people to see that they themselves hold all the answers. So in a way, we don't want them to become dependent on us. We want you to be able to listen within. Our complete intention is for you to be able to flourish on your own and make lasting change in your life. That being said, yes, it is absolutely worth every penny. However, not everybody has that financial freedom to invest in coaching. I do believe that in many cases, if you truly want something, you will make it happen. But I also know that we all have very different values. One person might value risk-taking, but another person might really value security and stability. So knowing that the average coach charged, I would say minimum, $150 an hour, when I first started my business, I asked for $100 a session. I didn't do the package thing. And to me, comparing myself to other coaches, that was already cheap, or at least that's what I was telling myself. And at the end of our contract, I would just like to have you write a testimonial. That would be the difference in me charging $100 versus $150. I tried so hard to tell myself that that was a good starting point. So my first client I ever had, he was 22. However, he was very financially secure, had his own business, which was very successful, and he was also an old friend of mine that always said from the very beginning that he wanted to be my first client. So charging him felt fine. And then my client after him was completely different. He was a 50-year-old teacher going into a transition of retirement and also going through some marriage turbulence. And so after a few months of working with him, he told me that the fee was no longer in his comfort zone because he was going through all this change. And that's like when I started struggling a lot with my business. I would reach out to other coaches / friends of mine that could coach me on my issue. And one of them I felt was trying to get me to realize that the higher I charge, the more people would take my services seriously. And that is something I've heard a lot in business in general, because usually when something is cheap, it's considered lower quality. It was really conflicting for me because I would be asked, and what do you feel that you're worth? Like, how do you price something that you're passionate about? And then I asked another coach, she asked me to describe my ideal client. I was like, I don't know, people fresh out of relationships, people that are stuck in toxic relationships, just anybody that's yearning or thirsty for this idea of self-love. Anyone that's curious or that feels that that's what's lacking in their lives. So then I immediately think about the person I was just a few years ago, and I think about like my own friends, and I realize that none of us are financially secure. We are all in our 20s trying to make it, probably still in school, paying back student loans, living paycheck to paycheck. And I realized my ideal client doesn't have the leverage to pay $100 an hour. So that realization sunk in. And during this time, I was also venting to my boyfriend about like all my feelings. So my boyfriend is a nursing student, basically personal trains people on the side. And he actually will go to their house with his equipment and train them in their own homes. And when I first asked him how much he charged, he told me $60 an hour. And to me, that was like, what? Like, you do all that, you commute over there, you use your own gas, and you only charge $60? That's pretty cheap. I had a gym membership, I did personal training, and it was like $100 an hour. Not to mention he's like extremely knowledgeable and personable and just like an amazing trainer. He's hot. And when I asked him like, why don't you charge more? He basically just said he didn't have to and it was enough. Like, simple as that. So anyways, that seed was planted. Over the past few months, I just wasn't doing anything. I just felt kind of lost. But with the help of talking to a lot of those people and just the gift of time, it finally like all made sense. In that time where I was just feeling low, just confused, just thinking and not doing anything, I just learned so much about myself and my unique purpose in this human experience. I want to be an option for young adults still getting their shit together, or anyone that just values frugality, anyone with a desire to try out life coaching but doesn't want to compromise their savings account. Like, my entire basis and foundation for all my sessions is to build a solid foundation of self-love, which will in return back up every aspect of your life, whether it's career, relationships, leisure. Access to this kind of help shouldn't be a privilege, especially when everyone already has the tools inside of them. I never joined life coaching for the money. Honestly, I didn't even know how much life coaches could make when I first started. And although we can charge higher prices, I don't think that we all have to. I would rather be able to reach more people and help them, even if it means making less money. I think about how I've been feeling the past few months, and my main thought is like, I want to do more coaching. I want to do what inspires me. I want to do what makes me happy. This is where I'm at right now in my journey and in my life coaching career, and I'm very open to it, changing. I'm always open to change, but I'm always preaching to people to stay present and follow your intuition. And I know that I can do this because I have that self-love. Like, I know that no matter what happens, it's a learning experience. I know that I'll always be okay no matter what. And saying all this makes me feel so relieved almost. And like, I just feel this is the decision that my intuition has been trying to guide me to. This is my current calling. Thank you so much for watching.